Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be back to the secret of Bittergiggle, and after Garten of Banban series, you know, I'm ready for some more Garten of Banban. So let's do this.
Should you be unfortunate enough to find yourself within the lower levels of Banban's kindergarten, you might find yourself facing a very strange sight. An underground kingdom lit by the colorful hues of the giant mushrooms that populate the area. Ruling over this kingdom is a giant kangaroo queen, protected and served by a few incredibly loyal residents. And among these residents is one that has gone through so many changes during development, and also perhaps one of Garten of Banban's most iconic characters. The name of that resident is Blitzercup. Or at least that's what the game files may lead you to believe. No. The name of this resident is Bittergiggle.
What? Bitter? No.
Or at least that's what he was originally going to be called before his name was changed for one last time to, drumroll please, Bittergiggle!
Yeah, that's better.
The Garten of Banban cast each have their own detailed story and personality, and that's what makes Garten of Banban unique. Join me on the 4th episode of the Banban Chronicles, narrated by me, Ty Coker, the voice actor of the character that the episode revolves around, Bittergiggle. A series where we dedicate each episode to discussing the history and secrets of a member of the Garten of Banban cast.
These are all the recordings of the game. We didn't get any of these from 0.
The ending of Garten of Banban 3 warns the player of a mysterious referred to as the Jester. And while not seen physically in the game, a collectible journal named the Smudged Poster depicts a strange figure never seen before in any of the games. Which, at the time, many correctly theorized is this Jester that we are cautiously told not to let this into what would...
I dropped my piece of gum, sorry.
...later become a... Which, at the time, many correctly theorized is this Jester told not to let find us. This was the introduction to what would later become a major character in the franchise. This figure is tall and humanoid, but most strikingly, he was vertically split into 2 colors, purple and green. Which begs the question, is this always how Bittergiggle was intended to look like?
Probably not.
The answer is no! And there's a big story behind the process that led to the creation of Bittergiggle. During the development of Garten of Banban 3, the Euphoric brothers felt that it would be a cool idea to add a character with 2 heads, with each head having a personality of its own. Quickly, they went to the drawing board, where many concepts would be created and discarded until the best one remained. This was done using the process of elimination. In the end, there remained 3 final potential concepts, which were a 4-legged creature with a cat head and a dog head, a 4-legged creature with a turtle head and a chameleon head, sound familiar, and a creature that didn't have 2 heads per se, but his body split into 2 different contrasting sides. The 4-legged creature with a cat head and a dog head was the next to be eliminated, permanently banished to the dark realm of scrapped Banban concepts. Wait, is that where Zolthius lives? This left one hard final decision to be made. Who gets the Banban hammer next?
Hey, forget Banban.
The turtle and the chameleon? Or the 2-sided freak that looks very much like a Jester? If you've played the Garten of Banban games, you probably already know what the conclusion was. The final decision was to add both. One as a boss fight in Garten of Banban 3, and one as a major aspect to the kingdom that the player would visit in Garten of Banban 4, where they would officially be a Jester. And just like that, the first...
Or Bittergiggle, or the Jester, however you want to call him. He's been in every chapter since 4. He probably won't be in 8, of course, though. So, yeah, because he's dead, but 0 makes sense.
Members of the Mutants family were created. forever bonded by the fact that originally only one of them was supposed to make the cut.
Yep.
We don't talk about Zolfius. But even though the two-sided Jester as a concept was established, it still needed a remarkable color scheme. And it wasn't originally the green and purple we know Bittergiggle for today. Bittergiggle was originally going to be yellow on the smoother half that's now green, and light blue on the scruffy half that's now purple.
I could see it
A
working.
color scheme that was recycled and applied to one of the experimental Jesters in Garten of Banban 4. Speaking of the experimental Jesters, they weren't originally called Experimental Jester. They were originally called the Hybrids, as can be seen on the file names of their voice lines. But this is far from the only Bittergiggle-related content found in the game files that wasn't shared publicly. Did you know that as of Garten of Banban 0, Bittergiggle by far and large has the highest amount of unused voice lines, spanning from his debut in Garten of Banban 4 all the way to Garten of Banban 0? This is, in part, thanks to the great amount of unused laughs that never made it into the games. Take a listen to a few of them.
I call it the Jester.
I remember back recording for Garten of Banban 4, I was workshopping the laugh, not 100% sure what the brothers wanted, so I gave them a huge variety of tones to pick from. Surprisingly, they ended up going with the higher pitched laughs that are closer to how I laugh naturally, so that's fun. In terms of actual voice lines where words are spoken, Bittergiggle doesn't fall short either. In Garten of Banban 6, Bittergiggle has 2 unused voice lines. Take a listen.
Let's go! This is our only chance! Let's do this! I'll fix the levers down here. You cover me from up there!
Oh, that's from
In Garten
the
of Banban
minigame
7,
with
during the rooftop
ones.
chase sequence with the notified Bittergiggle,
Okay.
he was originally meant to intermittently
This is in
scream
chapter 6,
random jokes that make absolutely no sense.
What?
Take a listen.
What did the sheep say? A car! What do you call it?
This would be cool, I think.
Leak that sneezes!
This had to be scrapped because it would have been difficult to listen to
I think I
Bittergiggle
like that.
as you were running away from him. So instead, it was replaced entirely with crazed laughs. 2 of these crazed laughs also ended up being unused.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
Oh no. But I like the one they want. That's too much.
And these are far from the only unused content related to Bittergiggle. As with most other characters, Bittergiggle too remains part of many unused scripts and sequences, once again spanning from Garten of Banban 4 all the way to Garten of Banban 0. During the climax of Garten of Banban 4, the player witnesses Bittergiggle achieve his goal of making Queen Bouncelia laugh, but not before his massive pet Kittysaurus and a mutated Little Beak engage in an intense fight. This all takes place within the Queen's throne room. But what if I told you that this entire sequence was originally going to be very different from what it ended up being? Normally, the player gets trapped by Bittergiggle, escapes, and returns to the kingdom to find Sheriff Toadster has been knocked out and that Bittergiggle and Kittysaurus have infiltrated the throne room. Yeah, and chaos ensues from there.
Yep,
In
for
the
sure.
original version of the script, the player would return to the kingdom after escaping Bittergiggle's entrapment to find the entire kingdom in shambles. Glancing upwards, the player would see Sheriff Toadster and Little Beak hiding on an elevated platform, warning the player that Bittergiggle and his army have made their way into the kingdom. This army that they mentioned would have consisted of both Kittysaurus and Kamataki and Tamataki, instead of just Kittysaurus as it is in the final version. Bittergiggle, Kittysaurus, and Kamataki and Tamataki would then notice the player, the Sheriff, and Little Beak, and Kamataki and Tamataki would shoot their projectiles at Little Beak, causing the poor bird to, once again, fall into the Givanium barrel. It would then emerge as the mutated Little Beak, and would engage in a similar fight with both Kamataki and Tamataki and Kittysaurus. The Queen would then exit her throne room to check out the loud noise, only for Bittergiggle to climb on a higher platform, jump on her back, and scream his joke into her ear, causing her to laugh. You would then escape with Sheriff Toadster,
This could have been
leaving
cool,
the chaos
but I
behind.
do still like what we
This
have.
version of the script had to be altered because it felt too messy.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments below which version of the
They
ending
both
of Garten
are
of
good.
Banban 4 you
It
think
would've
was
been
cooler.
interesting
At
if
a
this
certain point in Garten of Banban 6, you are tasked with
This
protecting
wasn't that
Bittergiggle
bad,
from the
actually.
naughty
This
ones from a
wasn't
high platform
great, you know.
as he tries to
I wouldn't
fix
say
the
it-
office door from a low,
I wouldn't say this was the worst puzzle in 6, but it wasn't like...
darker part of the area. But what if I told you that this minigame was originally going to be completely different?
Okay.
The main thread of this sequence was originally not the naughty ones at all. Instead, this sequence was originally not the naughty
It
ones at
wasn't?
all. Instead, it was a never-before-seen version of Sheriff Toadster.
What?
The naughtified Sheriff
We've never
Toadster.
done that.
From the safety of the upper, more lit area, you would control a light that would keep Bittergiggle safe as long as he stays within it as he navigated below.
Okay.
Except the naughtified sheriff would eagerly wait for Bittergiggle to stray too far from the light and snatch
Oh
him,
god.
and then snatch
Careful.
you. Before the mechanics of this minigame could be developed further, the
naughty
Ford
ones
brothers
went
agreed that keeping the
pretty
sheriff's fate unknown following the kidnapping of Banbalina would make for a better narrative point. It would also take away much of the naughty one's
Goes on.
screen time, which needed to be established as a serious threat in the dark. And thus, the sequence was altered to what it is today,
Yeah,
protecting
it would've been
Bittergiggle
cool
from
having Sheriff
hordes of
Toaster, but I
giant
think this
leeches
was a
that
better
despise the
decision.
light. But what about scrapped sequences that are actually referenced in the game by Bittergiggle but are never shown? Well, we have the first example of that in Garten of Banban 0, where while tied to his bed, Bittergiggle mentions strong earthquakes that broke something in the room.
You're tied to the bed, and with all these earthquakes, something broke. The
Earthquake?
tranquilizing
I
gas
didn't even
is
notice that
leaking.
before, I don't
This
think.
line was in reference to a series of events that were scrapped from Garten of Banban 0,
God.
while every now and then a strong earthquake would shake
God.
everything and everyone, with characters commenting on it after it happens. These earthquakes were supposed to serve as foreshadowing for Ramamba, which would have been the
Ramamba? I
source
thought it was
behind these
Ramamba.
earthquakes.
Ramamba?
However, since Ramamba was already contained in a cell, it would have been can cause earthquakes that strong
Yeah,
from
in-
that cell.
in containment?
So ultimately, the earthquakes were scrapped altogether, leaving behind this little reference as an homage to what could have been. I'm actually recording this episode before Garten of Banban 0 dropped, so this is actually the first that I've learned that the earthquakes had to be cut. So that's exciting. But wait, bear with me while I feed this hungry
Oh, no.
snake.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for the next episode of the
What's that?
Banban Chronicles, where the secrets and history of another character will be revealed. Comment down below which character you want to learn more about next, and keep on Banbanning!
They should do a... They should do a Jumbo Josh, that'd be cool. Or a Slow Slink, that'd be really short. Well, if you and Joel want more Brade reactions and Garden of Baby videos, please hit the like button and subscribe. Bye for now.